I never thought I'd be in this situation, but here I am. I'm Melissa, 26F, and I recently discovered something that's turned my world upside down. My fiancé, Bruce, 28M, has been secretly helping my brother, Derek, 32M, cheat on his wife, Rachel, 30F. I'm absolutely devastated and don't know how to handle this mess. Let me give you some background. Bruce and I met 5 years ago at a mutual friend's barbecue. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was helping set up the food table when Bruce walked in with a homemade apple pie. He had flour on his shirt and looked a bit frazzled, but his smile lit up the whole backyard. We got talking about our shared love for baking, and by the end of the night, we'd exchanged numbers. Our relationship progressed quickly after that. Within 6 months, we were practically living together, and after 2 years, we moved into our own apartment. Bruce proposed 6 months ago during a weekend getaway to the beach where we had our first vacation together. It was perfect. He got down on one knee at sunset, and I couldn't have been happier. We were planning our wedding for next summer, and I thought everything was perfect. Derek and Rachel have been married for 7 years and have 2 adorable kids, a 5-year-old boy named Ethan and a 3-year-old girl named Lily. Derek and I have always been close, despite our 6-year age gap. When we were kids, he was always there to protect me from bullies at school or to cheer me up when I was sad. I remember when I was 10, I didn't make the school choir, and I was devastated. Derek, who was 16 at the time, sat with me all evening and helped me make a Melissa's Awesome Mix CD of all my favorite songs. He told me I didn't need a choir to be a star. When Derek started dating Rachel in college, I was thrilled. She quickly became like a sister to me. I was in high school at the time, and Rachel would often come over to our house to hang out. She'd help me with my homework, give me advice about boys, and even taught me how to apply makeup. Their wedding was beautiful, and I remember thinking I wanted a love like theirs someday. Rachel has always been there for me too. When I was 20 and going through a bad breakup, she was the one who showed up at my dorm room with ice cream and tissues. She listened to me cry for hours and then helped me plan a glow-up week to boost my confidence. It was during that week that I decided to change my major from accounting, which I hated but thought was practical, to culinary arts, my true passion. Fast forward to last week. I was at Derek and Rachel's house, helping Rachel plan a surprise party for Derek's upcoming birthday. It's a tradition we started when Derek turned 25. Every year, Rachel and I team up to throw him an elaborate themed party. This year, we were planning a 90s throwback party, complete with a blockbuster video wall and a Nintendo 64 gaming station. While Rachel was putting the kids to bed, I used Derek's laptop to look up some party supply websites. That's when I noticed an email notification pop up from Bruce. The subject line read, cover story for Thursday night. I know I shouldn't have, but curiosity got the better of me. I opened the email, and what I read made me feel sick. Bruce was helping Derek coordinate his meetups with some woman named Vanessa. The email contained details about a fake work event Bruce was supposed to corroborate if Rachel asked any questions. I scrolled through the email thread, and it became clear this had been going on for months. Bruce wasn't just covering for Derek, he was actively helping him plan these encounters, suggesting places to meet and even booking hotel rooms sometimes. I was in shock. I couldn't believe Bruce, the man I was about to marry, was enabling my brother to cheat on his wife, my friend. And Derek, who I always saw as a devoted husband and father, was living this double life. I thought back to all the family dinners, game nights, and vacations we'd had together. How many of those times had Derek been lying? How many times had Bruce sat across from Rachel, knowing he was helping her husband betray her? I didn't confront Rachel that night. I made up an excuse about feeling sick and left, my mind reeling. Over the next few days, I tried to act normal around Bruce, but it was hard. Every time he touched me or said I love you, I felt like I was going to throw up. He must have noticed something was off because he kept asking if I was okay. Yesterday, I couldn't take it anymore. I confronted Bruce when he got home from work. I told him I knew about the emails and Derek's affair. At first, he tried to deny it, but when I mentioned specific details from the emails, he broke down. Bruce admitted he'd been helping Derek for about 8 months. Apparently, Derek had confided in him about feeling unhappy in his marriage and attracted to a co-worker, Vanessa. Bruce said he initially tried to talk Derek out of it, but when he realized Derek was determined to pursue the affair, he decided to help minimize the damage. I was furious. I asked Bruce how he could betray my trust like this, how he could be okay with Derek betraying Rachel. He tried to justify it by saying he was just being a good friend to Derek, that he didn't want Derek to get caught and hurt Rachel even more. He said he thought if Derek got it out of his system, he might realize what he had with Rachel and end things with Vanessa. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It was like I didn't even know the man standing in front of me. This wasn't the Bruce who held me when I cried after my grandmother passed away last year. This wasn't the man who surprised me with cooking classes for my birthday because he knew how much I loved experimenting in the kitchen. Who was this person who could lie so easily, who could watch Rachel play with her kids and know he was helping destroy their family? I told Bruce I needed space and that he should stay with a friend for a while. He left, looking defeated. As soon as the door closed behind him, I broke down crying. I cried for Rachel, for those beautiful kids, for the brother I thought I knew, and for the future I thought I had with Bruce. Now, I'm sitting here, trying to figure out what to do. Should I tell Rachel? She deserves to know, but I'm terrified of destroying her family. And what about my relationship with Bruce? Can I ever trust him again after this? I keep thinking about Rachel's 30th birthday party 2 months ago. Derek gave a beautiful speech about how lucky he was to have her as his wife and the mother of his children. Was he already involved with Vanessa then? Was that whole speech a lie? I feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. My loyalty to Rachel is battling with my instinct to protect my brother, even though I know what he's doing is wrong. And then there's Bruce, the man I thought I'd spend my life with, who's been lying to me all this time. I don't know how to move forward from here. Every option seems like it will cause pain to someone I care about. How do I choose between my brother, my friend, and the man I thought I'd marry? Any advice would be appreciated. Update 1, it's been 2 weeks since my last post, and a lot has happened. I want to thank everyone for their advice and support. It really helped me navigate this difficult situation. After careful consideration, I decided to tell Rachel the truth. It was one of the hardest conversations I've ever had. I invited her over to my place, sat her down, and told her everything I knew about Derek's affair and Bruce's involvement. Rachel was understandably devastated. At first, she didn't want to believe it, but when I showed her the emails I had screenshots of, reality hit her heart. She broke down crying, and I just held her, feeling guilty and heartbroken. It reminded me of when we were younger, and she'd comfort me after a bad day at school. Now, here I was, being the one to cause her pain. The next few days were a whirlwind. Rachel confronted Derek, who initially tried to deny everything. But when she mentioned the emails and Bruce's involvement, he finally confessed. It turns out the affair had been going on for almost a year, much longer than I initially thought. Derek moved out of their house and is staying with a friend. Rachel is still processing everything, but she's already talked to a lawyer about her options. She's also started therapy to help her cope with the betrayal. I've been trying to support her as much as I can, watching the kids when she needs a break or just sitting with her when she needs to talk. As for Bruce, I've decided to end our engagement. The trust between us is irreparably broken. When I told him my decision, he begged for another chance, saying he realized how wrong he was and that he'd do anything to make it up to me. He brought up all our happy memories, our first date at the local fair where he won me a giant stuffed bear, the time we got caught in a rainstorm and ended up dancing in the middle of the street, the night we stayed up until 3 a.m. planning our dream house. But I couldn't get past the fact that he'd been lying to me for months, actively participating in the destruction of my brother's family. I returned the engagement ring and asked Bruce to move out of our shared apartment. It's been tough coming home to an empty place, seeing the spaces where his things used to be. The coffee mug he always used still sits in the cupboard, and I can't bring myself to move it. It's been hard, but I know it's the right decision for me. My relationship with Derek is strained, to say the least. He's tried to reach out several times, alternating between apologizing and trying to justify his actions. He keeps bringing up memories from our childhood, like the time he taught me to ride a bike or when he helped me sneak back into the house after I missed curfew in high school. I think he's trying to remind me of our bond, but right now, those memories just make me sad. I've told him I need space and time to process everything. The hardest part has been seeing the impact on Derek and Rachel's kids. Ethan, at 5, is old enough to know something's wrong, but not old enough to understand what's happening. He keeps asking when Daddy's coming home. Lily, at 3, just seems confused and clingy. It breaks my heart to see them caught in the middle of this mess. Rachel's parents have been a great support, helping with the kids and offering Rachel emotional support. I'm focusing on being there for Rachel and the kids as much as I can. It's a delicate balance, given that Derek is my brother, but Rachel needs all the support she can get right now. Last weekend, I took the kids to the park to give Rachel some time alone. Watching Ethan push Lily on the swings, I couldn't help but think about how their lives have been turned upside down because of the adults' actions. This whole situation has made me reevaluate a lot of things in my life. I'm starting to see a therapist myself to work through all these emotions and to make sure I don't carry this baggage into future relationships. It's been helpful to have a neutral party to talk to about everything. I've also been throwing myself into my work at the bakery. Kneading dough and decorating cakes has always been therapeutic for me, And now more than ever, I'm grateful for that outlet. My boss has been understanding about the situation and has even let me experiment with some new recipes to keep my mind occupied. I know there's still a long road ahead, especially for Rachel and the kids, but I'm hopeful that with time, we'll all be able to heal and move forward. Right now, I'm just taking it one day at a time and trying to be there for the people who need me. Update 2. It's been about 2 months since my last update, and things have continued to evolve. I wanted to share some developments and reflect on how this situation has changed all of our lives. Rachel has filed for divorce. After attempting marriage counseling for a few weeks, she decided she couldn't move past Derek's betrayal. The divorce proceedings have started, and it's been a difficult process for everyone involved. Rachel's been staying strong for the kids, but I know she's hurting. We've had a few late-night talks where she's opened up about feeling like she wasn't enough, wondering if there were signs she missed. It's heartbreaking to see her question herself like this. Derek, to his credit, isn't contesting anything in the divorce. He's agreed to Rachel's terms regarding custody and asset division. I think the reality of what he's lost has finally hit him. He ended things with Vanessa, his affair partner, realizing that she wasn't worth destroying his family over. Last week, he called me in tears, saying he'd give anything to turn back time. It was hard to hear him so broken, but a part of me felt he needed to feel the full weight of his actions. I've had a few conversations with Derek since everything came to light. While I'm still hurt and disappointed by his actions, I'm trying to maintain some kind of relationship with him. He's my only sibling, and despite everything, I can't just cut him out of my life completely. He started individual therapy to work on himself and understand why he made the choices he did. He's also been making an effort to be a better father, taking the kids for his designated times and trying to create a stable environment for them at his new apartment. Rachel and the kids have moved in with her parents temporarily. She's looking for a new place of her own, wanting a fresh start away from the home she shared with Derek. The kids are adjusting as well as can be expected, but they're definitely feeling the impact of the family breakdown. Ethan's been acting out at school, and Lily's been having nightmares. Rachel's been amazing with them, always patient and reassuring, even when I know she's struggling herself. As for Bruce, he's made several attempts to reconcile. He sent emails, letters, and even showed up at my workplace once, which I shut down immediately. In one of his emails, he wrote about the future we had planned, the house in the suburbs, the dog we wanted to adopt, the cooking classes we were going to take together. Reading it made my heart ache for what could have been, but I know I can't go back. I've made it clear that our relationship is over, and I'm not interested in giving him another chance. It's been hard, especially since we had a life plan together, but I know it's the right decision for me. I've thrown myself into work and started taking some evening classes I've always been interested in. I've signed up for an advanced pastry course at the local culinary school, something I've wanted to do for years but never found the time for. It's been a good distraction and a way to focus on personal growth during this challenging time. Last week, I made a perfect chocolate souffle for the first time, and for a moment, I felt like my old self again. One unexpected outcome of all this is that Rachel and I have become even closer. We've been supporting each other through our respective breakups, and it's strengthened our friendship. We have weekly dinners together with the kids, which has been a bright spot in all of this mess. Last Sunday, we attempted to make homemade pizza with the kids. It ended up being a disaster, with flour everywhere and misshapen dough, but we laughed more than we had in weeks. It was a reminder that even in the darkest times, there can be moments of joy. I'm still processing everything that's happened, but I'm starting to feel more hopeful about the future. This experience has taught me a lot about the importance of honesty, trust, and staying true to my values. It's also shown me the strength of true friendship and family, not the family you're born into, but the family you choose. Update 3. It's been 6 months since this whole ordeal began, and I wanted to provide a final update on how things have settled. Rachel's divorce from Derek was finalized last month. She's moved into a new house with the kids and is slowly rebuilding her life. She started a new job at a local marketing firm and seems to be finding her footing as a single mom. The kids are adjusting well to their new routine, splitting time between Rachel and Derek. Ethan's behavior at school has improved, and Lily's nightmares have become less frequent. Last weekend, I helped Rachel paint the kids' new rooms. We went with a space theme for Ethan and a fairy garden for Lily. Seeing their faces light up when they saw their new rooms was a beautiful moment. Derek has maintained his commitment to therapy and is working on being a better father in person. He and Rachel have established a civil co-parenting relationship, which I'm grateful for, especially for the sake of the kids. They're not friends, but they can be in the same room for school events and kid handoffs without tension. Derek and I are slowly rebuilding our sibling relationship, though it's different now. There's a level of trust that's been lost, but we're working on it. We've started having monthly dinners, just the two of us, to reconnect and work through our issues. As for me, I've made some big changes in my life. I decided to take a job offer in another city, about 3 hours away from my hometown. It was a difficult decision, especially given everything that's happened with my family, but I felt like I needed a fresh start. The job is at a high-end patisserie, which has always been a dream of mine. I'll be working under a renowned pastry chef, and I'm excited about the opportunities for growth and learning. Moving has been bittersweet. Packing up my apartment brought back a lot of memories, both good and bad. I found the playlist Bruce made for me on our first anniversary, and for a moment, I was tempted to listen to it. But I packed it away, along with other reminders of our relationship. It's still too painful to revisit those memories. I haven't heard from Bruce in a while now. Last I knew, he had moved to a different state for work. A mutual friend mentioned he's been seeing someone new, which stirred up some complicated feelings. While the pain of his betrayal has lessened, I'm grateful for the lessons I learned from that relationship. It's taught me to trust my instincts and to never compromise my values for anyone. Rachel and the kids came to help me move into my new place last weekend. It was chaotic and exhausting, but also full of laughter. We ordered pizza and ate it sitting on boxes in my half-unpacked living room. As I watched Rachel help Ethan and Lily make a fort out of the empty boxes, I felt a surge of love and gratitude for this little family that stuck by me through everything. This experience has changed all of us in profound ways. It's taught me the importance of honesty, the value of true friendship, and the strength that can come from facing difficult truths head-on. I've learned that family isn't always defined by blood, and that sometimes the most painful experiences can lead to unexpected growth. I'm not going to pretend it's all been easy. There are still days when I feel angry about what happened, days when I miss Bruce and the future we had planned. But those days are becoming less frequent. I'm learning to focus on the present and the possibilities that lie ahead. My new city is full of unexplored cafes, parks, and neighborhoods. Yesterday, I discovered a small bookstore tucked away on a side street. The owner, an elderly woman named Margaret, recommended a book about self-discovery. As I sat in the store's cozy reading nook, sipping tea and starting the book, I felt a sense of peace I hadn't experienced in months. While I wouldn't wish this experience on anyone, I can say that I've grown from it. I'm more confident in my ability to stand up for what's right, even when it's difficult. I'm more appreciative of the genuine relationships in my life. And I'm more committed than ever to living authentically and with integrity. As I start this new chapter of my life, I'm cautiously optimistic about what the future holds. I'm excited about my new job, looking forward to exploring my new city, and open to the possibility of new relationships, both friendships and maybe, someday, romance. But for now, I'm focusing on myself, my career, and being there for Rachel and the kids. Thank you all for your support throughout this journey. Your advice and kind words have meant more than you know. If there's one thing I've learned from all of this, it's the power of community, even an online one, to help us through our darkest times. I hope my story can help others who might be going through similar situations. Remember, it's okay to prioritize your own well-being, to set boundaries, and to walk away from relationships that no longer serve you.